Hey guys, it's Luke here from the Tradie Marketing Agency. And today I just wanted to talk to you guys about profit margins and why they're so important when it comes to growing a sustainable business. So basically, it's not simply about the price of the job. You need to be actually tracking how much money you're making per job, but there's a lot of additional costs that you need to factor in, which is why a lot of tradies do tend to undercharge. The first biggest one is wages. It's not simply the money you pay your guys. You've also got super, you've got payroll tax, you've got all these other extras, which works out to be roughly about 33% of their base wage. So if you're paying somebody $40 an hour, it's actually closer to $55 an hour. You need to factor that in when you're working out your charge out rate. And then on top of that as well, you got to think about the back end time of organizing jobs, marketing, and things like this. So this is more what you call your operational expenses. So things like your vehicle payments, rent if you're renting a warehouse or a shed or something like that, marketing costs, admin costs, all that kind of stuff as well. Probably like 25% onto the cost of the employees as well, like, averaged out, right? So, you can see how if you were billing out at, say, $60 an hour and you're paying your guys $40 an hour, on the surface, it seems like you're making profit. But when you factor in all the other costs, you're actually probably losing money. A good sort of rule of thumb is whatever you're charging your guys out at, you need to be billing probably about double that, right? So if you're charging $40 an hour, you need to be billing at least $80 an hour to factor in all these other things. So how can you track this more accurately, right? I built like a spreadsheet for myself, which basically tracks out, how much the job is, how much the materials cost is, and then so minus that, and then you've got, like, let's say there's a painting job, it's $10,000, paint cost is $1,000, so I've got $9,000 in labor budget to work with. And then I'm always aiming for like a 50% gross profit. So this is before operational expenses. So I know that, well, if I've got $9,000 in revenue, in order to hit my 50% profit margin, the labor budget has to equal out to $4,500 to do the job, so that we're left with 50% profit. 20% to 25% of that will be taken in operational expenses on the back end, leaving me with about 30 to 25% net profit on the end. It takes a little bit of time to work out your numbers, but it's very, very worth it, because there's nothing worse than working an entire year and at the end of it, you're exactly where you started from, and you might have even actually gone backwards. So I would say, take the time, work out your numbers, work out your operational expenses, work out all the other things that, you have to cover for employees as well, and then build that out into some sort of number where you're confident that, like, all the things are covered and you're also making a bit of profit on top. That's it for today, and as always, if you guys would like a hand with your marketing, feel free to contact us at the tradiemarketingagency.com.au.